Well, Dean, if you ever wanted to advertise the Championship and show people what it was all about, you'd give them, I would say, a 3-minute clip of Saturday, but that wouldn't be long enough, would it? What was your kind of take on that?
I think first and foremost it was an excellent 3 points, fully deserved. Probably not much has been made of that from all the sort of noise after the game. For us, it's about keeping the focus on that. An excellent away display, backed by an incredible away support, who were with us toe to toe all throughout the game. Even at half time, while we were trying to deliver the messages, they were right above us, where we were stationed underneath, and we were doing our bit the Sergei was doing his bit in terms of getting the team organised for the second half. They were doing their bit on the concourse, and then we went out together in the second half and delivered that result. So there was a lot to unpick. You're right about the Championship advert. On and off the pitch, we went toe to toe, and we came out on top.
You must be really pleased that, given everything that went on Saturday, that you were able to rise above that. And we were talking downstairs with the gaffer about the melee before half time, but you went straight away, quiet in the crowd, scored a wonderful goal to go 2-1 up. That is that grit and determination that you need at this level if you're going to be successful.
Yeah, for sure. You see, the incident, clear as day to me. Kyle makes a great recovery run, which is what we put on all the players, by the way, not just the wingers or the forwards, but we lose the ball, we have to recover quickly. Every recovery run's a sprint. Kyle does, it's a well-timed tackle, or he goes to ground, and then there's a challenge that comes in, which is worthy of a red card.
Stansfield.
As far as I'm concerned, there was 2 of them. It came in on Kyle, and that obviously sparked the melee. There were security guards on the pitch, and obviously there was people in our technical area. It was a bit of a mess, to be honest with you. All I would say on that is the players came together and stood up for each other in the right way, which is what you have to show, to answer your question. And then we've been calm enough to then go and play our game and score an excellent second goal. All 3 goals for different reasons were outstanding on Saturday, and what a header from Reeds. There's a lot to unpick. I mean, we won first and second ball in that moment. Coyley on the outside, it's a lovely little stand up, and many people might not have noticed Ollie getting across the front post, which again drags the first centre half. I think it was Clara gets hold of him physically, and he's not in a position to then recover, and Reed's times he's run to perfection. Again, something we work a lot on in terms of when the ball's in certain areas of the pitch, where do we want our 8s, where do we want our wide players. Behind the game, it was perfect. If he got headed out, we were in for second balls and not stopping transition. So all in all, it was a great way to end what was a pretty mental first half.
It really was. It looked from where we were sat like you were playing UN peacekeeper at one point. You kind of were trying to calm people down, because it did get fiery. Emotions are high, aren't they, in football at that level? Particularly when obviously they felt they were wronged with the tackle, and you obviously felt it was correct, or fair. But you were in the middle of it trying to just calm everybody down, and that's important, isn't it? Because people can lose their heads.
It's an emotional game. I mean, I've been there myself many times. In the Championship in particular, emotions are running high, stress levels can be off the scale, and managers come under pressure, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a high pressure job. It was a nonsense as far as I'm concerned. I think we were in our technical area. It was heavy-handed in terms of the security, in terms of what we were sort of up against, and we just stood toe to toe. No one was out of order, no one went above the law. We stood up for our players on the pitch, which is what's expected within the rules. And the security involved, and it was going. I mean, how long did it go on for?
Yeah.
I mean, it was 3-4 minutes. That's the longest I've ever seen. It's not like rugby where everyone starts throwing a few punches, and not that you want that, by the way. You don't want that. But it's just all a bit handbags, and people are trying to show how hard they are and get hold of people, and it's just play the game. We're here to win a game of football. We've come here for 3 points against a team who had an incredible home record. And we knew it would be a tough game because of the success that they had last season. And Chris, I've got a huge amount of respect for. I've known Chris a long time. He rang me last summer before he signed Alfie May about, obviously I'd signed Alfie for Charlton, and he wanted a bit of reference, etc. So, we knew it was going to be we'd have to be right on our game to come away with the points. And there's different ways to win a game. And all we're interested in is that we went there and backed up a great win against Sheffield United, back-to-back wins now, which is hopefully people stop talking about that, and we can push on.
Before we do stop talking about that, because there is one more question, is on the subject of Chris, were you a bit surprised that about how he handled himself and sort of the comments afterwards where he refuted everything that he'd said, and like you kind of feel like you've been heard saying stuff, it happens in the heat of the moment, just sort of own it and we can all move on from it, rather than kind of denying everything, and it then lingers, and then more questions get followed.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on Chris. He's a football manager. I know myself, been there twice before in previous roles. It's a hugely stressful job.
Yeah.
Chris knows what he said. We know what was said. Gaffer Sergey doesn't want to take it any further. That's it as far as we're concerned. To answer the question about the statement after the game, I think it's a bit different, because technical areas are a hugely stressful environment, as I've just touched upon. It was a severe allegation that was made, which warrants a thorough investigation, which normally would involve speaking to key witnesses on the scene, i.e. in the technical area, of which I think there was 18 of us from Hull. Not one of us, as far as I'm aware, has been spoken to. And the statement was obviously put out, I think, 6:30, whatever it was, after the game. So it was a quick investigation.
A thorough investigation, they said.
And the statement might as well have just said, nothing to see here, let's move on. We can't control that. I think the power of football and what us guys in the game, football gets a bad name sometimes. And as I've already touched upon, this, I have to say, this is not Holden launches attack on Birmingham City. It's a fantastic football club. Chris, I've already touched upon the respect. Tom Brady, one of my idols. This is nothing to do with the badge I'm wearing again. This is about football. This is a serious allegation which warranted a thorough investigation. And it would have been maybe nice if the social media reached that. You could have maybe said that any form of discrimination, of racism, of xenophobia, etc., 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 we are against, and we will investigate, and we will report when we have our investigation concluded. But that obviously wasn't the case. It was just basically pushed to one side.
Yeah.
And we can't control that, as I say. Sergey doesn't want to take it any further. We've got too much going on in terms of preparing to take on Leicester City tomorrow night. So these Saturday weeks are very, very time consuming in terms of getting the players prepared mentally and physically for another challenge. And that's what we'll be judged on. Winning games of football, and that's where all our full focus is.